Planet Dolan.
For thousands of years, mankind has been asking questions about the world around us, like, how did we get here? And why is the sky blue? Here are 15 questions nobody can answer. I'm Melissa, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 15. Why do cats purr? It can be difficult to know when your cat is happy, and most people think that when a cat purrs softly, that must mean it's in a good mood. But this is not always the case. Cats also purr when hungry, injured, or frightened. It's not even clear how a cat controls its purring. Research has shown, however, that the sound frequency of the purr can promote bone healing and density. Number 14. Why is ice slippery? You may think that this is a dumb question, but it has troubled ice skating scientists for over a century. The original theory was that the pressure from your ice skates melts the ice, leaving slippery water, but this pressure wouldn't be enough. Another theory claims that the friction of movement melts the ice, but this doesn't explain why you still slip up when standing still. Let's hope we don't let the answer slip away. Number 13. How long is the coastline? Asking, how long is the coastline of Australia, seems like a simple enough question, but it's actually a little more complex due to the coastline paradox. If you measure the distance on a map with a ruler, you will get one result, but if you use a more detailed map, you'll get a longer result. If you go to the beach and measure around every rock and stone, you could end up with an infinitely long coastline. It all depends on how detailed you're willing to go. Number 12. How many species are there? Scientists have documented and named around 1.5 million species of plants and animals in the world today, but the question of how many there are in total that we haven't named remains hotly debated. Estimates range from as few as 3 million to as much as 100 million. Until we have scoured every inch of the planet and named every worm, bacteria, and fungus, there is really no way of settling the argument. Number 11. Why do we dream? For millennia, people have believed that dreams carry special messages about the past, the future, or about our troubled minds. But to this day, the exact function and cause of dreaming is still a matter of scientific opinion. Some see it as your brain flicking through memories to help it store them away correctly, and others argue that dreams provide stimulated practice scenarios for the real world, like a video game. Number 10. Is the universe infinite? Around 14 billion years ago, the universe exploded into being with a big bang. Since then, light has traveled 46 billion light years in all directions, but this is only what we call the observable universe. Astrophysicists still debate what lies beyond the horizon of what we can actually observe. Does it stretch on forever like an endless sheet of paper, or does it fold back on itself like a great cosmic bagel? Number 9. What happened to the Roanoke colony? In 1587, a group of 115 settlers landed in modern-day North Carolina on an island called Roanoke. Despite previously failed missions there, the colonists, including Virginia Dare, the first American-born European, tried to make a new life for themselves. 3 years later, a ship returned from England with supplies and found nothing in Roanoke. No sign of struggle or fighting, the houses had been calmly dismantled. The fate of one of the first U.S. colonies remains a mystery to this day. Number 8. How long will I live? Some of us would love to know exactly how much time we have on this planet, while others would probably rather remain ignorant of when they're due to die. Perhaps fortunately, there's still very little way of telling when any individual will die of old age. The best measure we have is to look at the ends of DNA strands, called telomeres. Telomeres get shorter every time DNA replicates, giving our bodies a kind of half-life, but this is far from accurate. Number 7. What happens at the point of death? This question has been in humanity's mind since the dawn of time. We didn't have an answer then, and sadly we don't have an answer for you now. But there have been studies into out-of-body experiences when people have died for brief minutes in hospitals, and many patients report a peaceful awareness, even when their heart has stopped beating. Is it the drugs in their body, or is it something else? Number 6. Why do we need to sleep? If dreams are a mystery, then sleep itself might be a bigger enigma. Without sleep, our bodies don't heal, we lose our memory, and we even start to hallucinate. But biologically speaking, there's no definitive reason why we should need to power down. Most theories revolve around muscle repair and brain organization, but neuroscientists have yet to come up with a unifying theory. Number 5. How do you define life? If we ask you to point at the living things in your room, you can point at yourself, the cat, and maybe the hamster. You'd better check. But we actually have no idea what life is. There are some general rules like responding to stimuli, reproduction, metabolizing, and so on, but it's never black and white. We don't even know if viruses are alive yet, and they're a broadly studied subject. Number 4. What is matter made of? What kind of Lego is the universe really using? That's the question. We used to think it was Earth, then atoms, then protons, neurons, and electrons, and now we're down to quarks, neutrons, and bosons. But is that it? Are we at the bottom of the rabbit hole, or is there still smaller levels to discover? And if they are the smallest, what makes matter different from energy? Number 3. Why is there more matter than antimatter? Speaking of matter, we know that both matter and antimatter exist, and that if they meet, they cancel each other out and kind of disappear. However, there is no reason in the laws of physics why there is more matter than antimatter. It's obviously good for us that there is, as otherwise there would be no stars, planets, or ice cream. It would have all been canceled out. We think something happened in the Big Bang to tip the balance in our favor, but don't have a clue as to what it was. Number 2. Is there a grand unified theory? If we assume we have found the smallest level of matter, then we have a reasonable understanding of how it works. And as you can see from the moon landing and satellites, we also have a good idea about planets and gravity. But when you try to put these two together, the micro and the macro, it's all very vague. What we need is a grand unifying theory that connects gravity to the weird probabilities of quantum mechanics. Number 1. Is there anybody out there? Whenever we look up at the night sky, we have to wonder, are we alone in the universe? We've been looking and probing for many years, but recently, a theory has appeared that makes the search seem more hopeful. Jeremy England, a biophysicist at MIT, has recently published a paper that says life isn't just chance. It's actually, and inevitably, result of the laws of the universe. So that means, if you wait long enough, life will always develop. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.